Hello, this is Sirrano with the New Jersey Pulse News. It's the night before the election, and everything was quiet. Not even a mouse in sight. Well, a couple of rats, trying to disrupt the election and get their own stuff going. Rats and whatever else, goats and foxes and wolves. That's right, just the night before the election. So anyway, I wanted to give my commentary on the election. Um, I hope you guys went online and looked at my newspaper, the NewJerseyPulse.com. I have an entire issue, and I kind of broke down some things for you. I have a video on my site as well, NewJerseyPulse.com. So I think you should see that it's an election video. I'm gonna kind of briefly go through this thing. On my second page is $700 that the Democratic freeholders spent to build a little walkway in Paterson while the people are suffering and struggling. They went ahead and they built that. On the back here, I have some very interesting things on my back page, which is actually page 16 or 17 when you go online. What this page is about is that John Bartel, his law firm, got $1.5 million, $7 million when he became a freeholder in contracts specifically from your tax dollars. And Lawler's nephew got a job, and it was his name, Ishmael Tigua. That's his nephew, got a job with the county. And then just a whole list of things of people that was working in the office getting $19,000. Another getting $93,000. Another freeholder aide was getting $19,000. Now he's getting $103,000. And them dissecting a part of the government just to make an extra job just for him. Freeholder Lawler, who is the Democratic freeholder, there was a woman by the name of Kathleen Marco, and she was allegedly fired. They found some kind of reason to get rid of her so they can give his nephew a job. And in here also is the salary of every city employee, everyone that is employed in the city of Paterson. All 7 pages of it. So if you want to know how much police officers are making, how much your mayor is making, how much your city council members are making. And on page 11 is our endorsements of who we think could best run this county. As you know, I am not friends with politicians. People think that I don't make any money in Paterson. I just want to make that very clear to people. I often ask myself, God had to put a heart for me to come to the city of Paterson because I don't make any money here. So people saying, oh, you make money in Paterson and, you do this and you get all these benefits. I get no benefits from Paterson, none whatsoever. When Jesus went to Jerusalem, and then I'm comparing myself equally to him, but as a servant, he had no benefit in Jerusalem, none. He knew they were not going to accept him. They were not going to make him king. They were going to keep everything for themselves. Well, the same thing with Paterson. I don't want anything from these people, but my heart is for the good people. I had a rally and I invited people to come to this rally to fight back. And I know you guys are angry about your taxes going up, but you don't know how to fight and you don't want to fight. So you're going to continue to get beat down. The 3 county Democratic freeholders who are running, they take $41 million from the city of Paterson because the law says that they can. And for that, you get nothing. They want to balance their budget. They inflate their budget. They make it bigger. They hire their friends and their families. They pay for those who donate to their campaign up to $18 million. They inflate all of that. They take more taxes from you because the law said that they can. The reason I wanted my freeholders, who's on the front page, oh, by the way, both the Herald News and the New Jersey Pulse. The Herald News has been here a long time. I've been here about 8 years, and I've been one of the most leading newspapers here, and I don't take it from nobody, and I don't want to get bribed, and I don't want favor by money. I don't do that. Both of us decided that these guys were the best guys to run this city, and if you guys go the other way, we're both going to have bragging rights to say, I told you so. Crime is up. Poverty is up. Just about everything that is horrible is up in Paterson. So my candidates are Benji Wimberly and Shavonda Sumter because I don't think that the Republican Party put up strong candidates and good with financing and law. So, I'm for that. I don't care where you are. I don't really care that Benji and Savanda voted against gospel and religion and Christian rights. That's my only peeve with them. But when it comes to the bottom line, it's about your money. My business, although I don't make any money from you, my business is to bring your money back from the county. Benji and Savannah have nothing to do with that. They're just basically in the state. So we endorse them because I like Benji and I know he's being used by the Democratic Party. It's sad when I have to talk to him and he tell me, Sirrano, you know how it is. It's very sad because if Benji Wimberly ever get the spirit of Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, he'd look that party right in the face and tell them, you know what? I have Paterson. I have all these votes. People listen to me. So you can go to hell. I don't want to be forced to endorse a candidate that is not for my people, it's for you. So I feel bad for Benji in a way. And they use that boy and, just I really like him. And he knows I know what he's going through sometimes when he was forced to endorse Andrew Sayer and he's forced to endorse these Democratic county freeholders. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to tell you the conversation I had with him, but he's not with them. He's not. He knows that the GOP can do better, but we're not going to go there too far with that. My second, after the assembly, the freeholders are the Republican freeholders because they're smart, they know money, they can balance budgets, they can stop the bleeding of Paterson. And I made them promise me, if you get the seats, you're going to stop this bleeding in Paterson. You're going to help me bring Paterson money back. And you're going to help me at least give 10,000 kids $1,000 in their account. If we fire Lola's nephew, and if we fire one of those guys that they gave that special job to because they're friends with them for $103,000, 10,000 kids in Paterson can get $1,000 in their bank account to motivate them and encourage them of what it's like to have money, be rich, and get your life together. That's what I think. Instead of giving them welfare, where they stay there and they get poor and it's a repeated cycle of poverty, you give them money and you motivate them on what it's like to have more and have a life plan and a goal. Anybody with a life plan and goal will tell you they will increase in their earnings. And that's what I want to do with the kids if my GOP row B wins on the freeholder line, not in the Benji Wimberly line. So it's going to be AABBB. I like that. AA for Benji Shavanda, then BBB for Capoli, Walsh, and Mehi. So AABBB. That would be a perfect fit. Get rid of the other people. Get them out of Paterson because they're just going to take more of your money. And then I endorsed Oshin Castillo because one of the craziest things that I'm hearing is people are voting by race. And I've known this in Paterson for a long time. Latinos vote for this and blacks vote for this. They're voting for Corey T. The guy is broke. He owes me money and he won't pay it. I confronted him and I asked him, what about the money you owe me? Oh, I don't have it, and even if I have it, I'm not going to pay it. This is the attitude that kids have to look up to. The guy's broke. He's an older man who won't find a job, walks around in the city like a bum. And the kids, what is the mentorship here? This is what Paterson does. It gives no mentor. It gives nothing where a kid can look at Wayne and all these other people. I was in Texas the other day, and you can see the mentors. You can see the people that you want to be like. You watch them. They're working. They've got jobs. They've got the nice car. They've got the house. They've got the family. You want to showcase that, but you keep voting Corey T and these are the characters around him, and he's a bum basically. And then he learns these words from Jonathan Hodges, how to say what to speak this, but he doesn't know how to deal with kids. He doesn't know how to deal with finances. And besides, they don't have to deal with kids. They have to deal with the structure of the governing body that brings good sense to the kids. It has failed. You see the numbers? And then somebody called me up, well, he's black and I'm voting for him. So for a lot of people, it's a vote by race, election for them. And that's sad. Because you have a wonderful lady like Oshin Castillo, very smart. She has a job, she has an income. She's very well dressed. She has posture. When young kids look at her and she goes to speak in the classroom, you can look at her and say, wow, Mammy, I want to be like her. It's motivating. And and because the other person is a black guy, they say, well, I'm voting him because he's my race. Why? And this is, it's not even biblical to think that way, because in the scripture, and most of these people are Christians, and in the Bible it says, no flesh shall ever glory in my presence. And there's a lot of things like that. No flesh, no flesh, no flesh. But all people do is they vote by race. And these people go to church. And I hate when I hear that constantly. But I just had somebody in my Facebook page and I caught her. And she's trying to say she's not voting by race. I'm voting for Corey T. Why? I bet you if he was Hispanic, you wouldn't be voting for him because you look at his character and you look at his qualifications and then you say, you know what, you're not really qualified. You forget that you're Hispanic, you're not black, but you're not qualified. You basically have no job, you have no career, you have no goal. You don't have a family the kids can look up to. So, it's sad. And then they try to spin it and they try to turn it around on me, and I don't care. I don't care. If the person's not qualified and they're a bum, they shouldn't be on the school board. I don't care what you say. Because I know you're voting by race, because you already said it, and then I killed them and then deleted it on their Facebook. And so I endorsed Ocean Castillo for that because she's smart, she's educated, she can motivate kids, and she can be part of a great team. And then the next person that we did was Manny Martinez, and boy, is that a big fight. Boy, is that a fight. And I have someone who is voting for him because Mike Jackson helped him. I have another person, Mike Jackson, well, he's my race. And again, it's a vote by race thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyway, somebody close to Mike Jackson sent me a flyer and I put it up on my Facebook page. And because when I woke up this morning, I was harassed by a Manny Martinez he lied flyer. And I kind of know a little bit of facts. If he was fired, how come he got a better job and a higher job in the same establishment? So was he fired? Was he transferred? Was he upgraded? Now, when I hear lies like that, it really makes me upset. If he really was fired and he was lying, then I can say, but if he's still working for the company, how's he fired? So it's just that when people lie, it really turns me. I remember I was good friends with Aslan Gao. When he wanted to win a seat, he didn't care about the people. He cared about himself. And we were good friends to hang out, eat steak, we used to hang out like buddies. But I don't care how much of a buddy you are to me. If you lie against the people of Paterson, if you lie against anybody, and I know you're lying, I can't be your friend. I can't. And we went from this to this. Because people think I'm easily bought. People think I'm easily influenced. People think that when they put their hand on my shoulder, hey, Sirrano, buddy. No, we're not. If you do something wrong against this community where God sent me, I don't see anywhere else as a Christian that God has done but sent me here. I hope one day that I'm blessed because I really don't make any money here. It really doesn't benefit me. And I can be in Bergen County with a big paper. I can be in Texas with a big paper, and I can see the money there. But I think Jesus didn't worry about money. He worried about the people that were being oppressed and lied to, manipulated by the governing body, by those churches, by everybody else. And he went into the middle of that, and he got cursed by the very people he was trying to help. I get a little of that too. I don't get all of it. I know a lot of people on my Facebook. I have more people that love me than don't. And, there are a lot of crazy people out there, and they have their own ideas. And when they come, I give them 3 times to comment, and then I block them if they continue. You get your 3 negatives. So I endorse Manny Martinez because Mike Jackson was complaining about money. And I want you to listen to this very carefully. He's complaining about money. And Veronica is also complaining about money. And the other guy, Bernard, is also complaining about money. Very carefully, watch this. Anthony Davis was also complaining about money. And what happened? He did something stupid and he went to jail. Anytime somebody leaves a more office by getting arrested for about money, and anybody who wants to take that place is complaining about money, you got an issue. So no to anybody that's complaining about money. You're going to do the same thing Davis did and you're going to get arrested. Manny Martinez was the only one that wasn't complaining about money. And he's already in the system. He's coming from the school board. He knows about budgeting. He knows about financing. And he knows about law. So the other 3 are going to have to babysit. And you have to learn as you go. We're dying in Paterson financially. Are you going to babysit people and start teaching them how to do a budget? He already knows the budget. So all he has to do is to make the right decisions. So that's one of the reasons that I set aside everything else. I didn't, they were telling me a lot of things about him. I don't care. Does he not do the budget? Is he a nice guy? Can I trust him? If I put him up there, was he going to jump in bed with Saya? All those questions I needed answered, and he answered it, and he assured me that was not going to happen. Ocean Castillo on the school board, which is 3D, also assured me that nobody would influence her. Now, when he does that, guess what happens? If I see influence, then I can go and knock on it and say, excuse me, you told me you weren't going to vote just because Sale was going to vote. You told me you were going to jump in bed with crooked politicians, and you did. So, see, I get to do that. When they promise me and they go up there, I get to do that and I get to rip into him, and the next time I get to expose him and remove him. But you guys don't know that. Have some of you just voting race, some of you just voting likability, some of you just voting because you need to vote and you want to vote a party, you want to vote because somebody endorsed somebody. Don't do that. You have to vote based on experience and who can bring your money back. Let's take away Benji and Sumter that we endorsed. They have nothing to do with this. We like Benji. Like I said, I went over what he did and what he's struggling with. The GOP freeholders can go back and break the 7 Democrat, 0 Republican. And now you can have 4 and 3. And they can go in there and watch the books and say, well, wait, why do you need another $41 million from Paterson? Why? And then they can come back and they can tell me that, and I can come back and tell you that. And that's why I'm endorsing them, to find out what is going on in that books that you're just stealing $41 million from Paterson every year that Paterson badly needs. There's a recreation bill that the mayor's putting up. All he needs is $600,000 from the already, and we're going to get to that in a second. And he can't even do that because the freeholders these Democrats come along from the freeholder. And I saw a card saying, make sure we get your support. We're counting on you, counting on you on election day. Counting on you for what? To take more money and rip this city off? Counting on you to oh my gosh, I just, when I think about that, it really makes me angry. It really does. That they take all this money from Paterson and they lie and they come like there's nothing wrong. They hug, they kiss you. They go back up there and you get another hit. And then another hit. And you're saying, well, why? Because you just voted for them again. Why? Because I'm a Democrat and I vote Democrat. Wow, big deal. Who told you to be a Democrat? Nobody. Martin Luther King says the Republicans care about civil rights. That's why we're meeting with them. That's why we're on their side. Malcolm X says if you ever vote for a Democrat, ever, you're a chump. The reason that he said that, because he saw what was happening in Paterson today. Somebody asked me, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King saw what was happening in Paterson today. They'd turn in their grave. They saw this. And that's why they told you don't vote Democrat. Is because they give you a welfare check. You take the welfare check. They give you a free phone. You take that. They love you. They care about you. But when you look at your lives, it's the same cycle of poverty. It's the same cycle of crime and boarded up buildings and shootings and murders under that philosophy. I don't know about the Republican philosophy. I know it's supposed to be Christian rights. I know it's supposed to be protecting the church. I know it's supposed to be gun rights. I know it's supposed to be no abortion that affects the gospel. But my part for putting up my candidates is trying to make the minority and the black community rich and wealthy. At least show you what it is. The opportunity to give up the $600 welfare check and come over and says, you know what, I can be rich. I can do this. You mean all I have to do is make different decisions in my life? And those decisions will actually change my life? Different personal decisions to want to educate myself more, and improve my skills, improve my reading, improve my understanding, and I can actually be somebody? Yes. And I was thinking, if you put, instead of a welfare check, put $1,000 in 10,000 kids' pockets. It's like $100,000. And show them, each one $1,000, and motivate them. But the philosophy in the Democratic Party has just been different, and I just don't agree with it. I know they have a history of not wanting me to vote in 1964 with everybody a colored person. I know they were part of the KKK. I know they were part of the slavery. I know they were part of all of that stuff. And I just kind of think with that kind of history of racism, I don't want to be a part of that party. And I don't care what you're doing now, but you have a history of racism, and I don't want it. So that's why I'm trying to have the new GOP. These are not the guy that other GOPs that I don't like. So those are the candidates that I endorse. Benji Wimberly, Shavonda Sumter, Sami Mehi, Capoli, and Walsh, and the freeholder Republicans, and then the first one, Manny Martinez, and which is DE, I think. And I just remember this D and E, E for everybody. So just D, E. Okay. And then there's Oshin, which is, I think, something E. I can't remember her number, but Oshin Castillo. When you look at the characters of these people, you can't help. And if you really are a good person, if you really want to be fair with Paterson, these are the people that you want. And if they don't win, guess what? I get to say I told you so. And finally, the mayor has a a resolution, a ballot question for the recreational crime. But the other politicians are trying to spin it and say it's a tax thing. From what I understand, you either vote for $2.4 million inside the general public, or you vote for the same $2.4 million outside the general budget. So either way, you're going to vote for this $2.4 million. You're going to vote it in here, or you're going to vote it in here. He kind of chunked it out and put it here and says, okay, I want you to vote for it here to protect it for other generations to come and nobody would touch it. And then they said it's a new tax. And well, it's still going to be tax. You just took 2.4 million from the general funds, which people are going to vote for anyway. So if you're going to vote for it anyway, and they took it out and says vote for it separately, new tax, old tax is still the same. But what the major thing here is, I have a mother crying and saying her son was killed, and the 3 others go in jail, all black from the black community. And if there was recreation and the kids were busy with recreation, they wouldn't be out there bored trying to kill each other. The Paterson Municipal Council voted that you, the taxpayer, would pay 90% of your tax dollars to the private parades of the Dominican and Peruvians and whatever. So they raised taxes for you to pay 90% of that parade. They raised taxes, and one of them has a $400,000 contract that he gave to one of his friends. And all these other spendings that they have, they raise taxes to spend for everything else. But to take a tax and put it separately for the kids, they want to cut the budget and call it a tax. So they're asking you to vote no. And I'm asking you to vote yes, because I understand what this is. This is not a new tax. You'll either vote for it in the general budget, or you're going to vote for it separately. Tax is tax. So this is a new tax. It's not. So quit the lying. Quit the manipulating the community. If you want to see another dead kid in the street of Paterson, then don't vote for it. Don't care. You don't want to care about recreation? Benji Wimberly supports this. TJ Best support this. They know what they're doing with the city of Paterson. So stop the people lying to you and telling you it's a brand new tax and new money and you're going to get more damage. You're getting damaged by the $41 million that the Democratic freeholder candidates are stealing from this community every single year. That's where you're getting burned. That's where you're getting soaked. So that's where you need to stop. And that's why we're putting up these candidates there for. So isn't that before the election? When you wake up tomorrow, just remember, the person that you don't vote for, and if they lose, you lose. If it's for the freeholders, you're going to lose more money. If it's for the school board, you're going to lose to lower education and what you got. If it's for the city council, you're going to just have troublemakers up there. And that's why we strategically thought about, spoke with, examined. I didn't bring these candidates out in the public. I went face to face with them. Somebody was trying to challenge me and get publicity for themselves and says, I want to be involved. I want to challenge you and the candidates. Go challenge the candidates on your own time. So I'm trying to make sure that people do the right thing. So when I'm out on the street fighting for you, when I'm on the street calling people out, when I'm on the street making sure people do the right thing, this is what I'm thinking about when I choose a candidate. When I see the mayor trying to take a parking spot, remember that big fight we had up in that video? Trying to kick me out of a parking spot that's not even his after 6:30. I don't care who he is. You know, you have to do the right thing by the community. So all the time, this is what I do. I fight for you. I am out there, and I have no fear. My only fear is God. I fear because he said, if fear me more than you fear man. So if I fear what man is going to do to me, then I might as well not be a Christian because I won't do the right thing and fight for anybody. I fight for you more than I fight for myself. Most like some woman that keep getting on my Facebook page because she doesn't like or she wants her candidate. And I looked at her Facebook. The first thing I do is I investigate somebody's Facebook page. And I want to say, did you fight for this community? Is there anything on your post that shows that you care about the Paterson community? You just made one comment. But on her post was all makeup and friends and hugging and parties. But you want to come into this conversation. And this is the kind of people that vote. This is the kind of people that convince their friends to vote. Vote by race. But vote by who I know. Vote by whatever. But you never vote for the right reason. I gave you the right reason to vote. You can go see my video on NewJerseyPulse.com. And to the right, you'll see the newspaper itself in its entirety. You just need a PDF reader to read it. And I hope tomorrow that you'll make the right decision and follow my lead in picking these candidates that can stop the bleeding in Paterson and can make a difference where everybody else is just recycled politicians, from the school board to everywhere else. We got to stop recycling the politicians and start putting new things in there, new direction to make some changes in the city of Paterson. This is Sirrano, New Jersey Pulse. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.